Hey, my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening. And all of life is a spiritual awakening. So, guess what? All right. So I want to give you guys the encouragement that's been given to me. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. So, just don't mind where the camera goes or anything. So I was just praying before this, right? I was praying. I was in a meditation. It's kind of a meditation. You don't have to have the same exact meditation as I do, but I recommend every day getting quiet where you learn. I learned from some other people too. I learned a different way. This way from the 1400s that he got from earlier ages. Saint Ignatius of Loyola. But that's just what came across my path. Your own, God, you come from the divine, you come from divine love, and you come out of divine love as part of that. Forgive me, I was crying. I was so moved by these people that were so kind to me. We come from divine love. We're made in the image and likeness of it. So sometimes it's like a drop of the ocean. And if God is divine love and God is the ocean, then we come out of that. And so you'll always be led. You'll always be led. One person told me, just surrender into the water. It's just and I was doing this the other day. I was in Mexico and I was in a Cenota, which is this natural well. Is beautiful. I couldn't take my camera down there because I didn't have a waterproof thing for it. I might have one picture of it, but it was just so beautiful. And they made us wear life jackets, because we were on this tour thing. I was just by myself on it, but I just practiced being still in the water because I was doing my meditation at the same time, because I always try to take an hour out every day to just surrender, not be caught up in your thoughts, not be captivated by your thoughts. That's what I was going to tell you before. Here, let me tell you that first, and then I'll go back to the Cenota. Is if you take 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night where you just choose to be present. And if you can, do your best to God, help me be connected to divine love, to love, just be in love. That's what I say. This is the best kind of in love to be. You can always trust it because it's real and it's true, and it's not the love of this world. The love of this world, we're approximating, we're learning, we're trying to get closer to what true love is and align ourselves with true love, right? I'm so glad I get to talk to you guys. I'm so glad about this, right? Because I know it's with the comfort you have received, to give that comfort to other people, because I know how much I needed it and how much then I just want to give it to you guys fully and generously. I always want to do that, right? And so what this other person was saying, and this helps too if you can't go into don't beat yourself up for not having an hour or 30 minutes or whatever it is. Start with 5 minutes if that's what it takes, and go 5 minutes or 10 minutes where you're no, I'm committing this time to being present. And it's kind of like clouds or sailboats. I was over at the ocean yesterday. I got to go kayaking with someone I love. And anyway, it's just watching the sailboats go by and not buying into the ebb and flow of life, not buying into you need to be doing this, you have to be doing this. No, you're gonna set aside. It's no, I choose to set aside 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night to just be present. And I can watch the thoughts and go, oh, look at all those anxious thoughts. Oh, look at all those self-condemnation thoughts, or look at all those worry thoughts. You can develop a tool for labeling them if you want. Oh, that's just this. That's saying you're not doing enough, or you're too bad, or you've messed up too many times in your life, or you have to be perfect. Whatever the thoughts are that come into your space, you can label them if you want, but don't get too attached even to the label. You're practicing a discipline of being quiet and letting those thoughts just pass by. And what you're doing is you're developing a muscle of not buying into that, so that when people throw all this news at you or whatever in the world, you've already practiced the muscle of being the observer. Or if someone's like, you need to be doing this, come over and do this, you learn how to be the observer and be like, is that really what's my highest and best? Is that action really going to give me the result that I want in my life? Is this practice serving me? Is it really going to help elevate my goals and aspirations and purposes in life? And love. Always. I'm always looking at how is this going to help me be more loving and less hurting to other people? How can I build a trust within myself? And is this act that is being presented in front of me one of integrity and honor, or is it taking a shortcut and giving me a quick solution, but not the character that I want to develop inside myself for the long run, But by taking 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, it's just like if I did 100 push-ups in the morning, 100 push-ups at night every day, or even if I started with 10, you see how 10 would get you more muscles. Look at this. Let's see if it shows up. Yeah, look at that. That's from doing yoga now for 5 or 6 days a week, sometimes not. I do my best to do that wherever I am. Like I have a yoga mat in the back of my car. I'll just pull over wherever I am and be like, all right, let's get my yoga in, because I have the video on my phone. But that was for a year and a half. I'd been doing that. That's how I met there was someone helping us with a kayak, and I'm like, look at this, he's like, you got that from yoga? I was like, yeah, because I was just so excited, because he couldn't believe it. It was just this sweet guy that was helping us. Anyway, what I was going to say about that, though, is I was going to say, I just did my hour this morning before I went somewhere. And the hour, like, I sat there and I just presented everything to divine love, aka God. But, people have misused the name of God so much. It's hard for me to even identify myself, like calling myself like one. Christ is like my constant teacher, and love, love. But I can't stand even telling people that, because I've been burned by so many people that called themselves that, and whatever. And so it's hard for me to even, say that, because I never want people to just trust me because they think I'm part of a group or something, or alienate people because I love Rumi and I love, Bob Marley, and I love, the teachings of Buddha and all these other teachings that really teach us how to live a Zen life, or how to live one aligned with God, with divine love, and as that. So, but what I was going to say is that, so I was in this meditation and I was like, I surrender everything all over again, every area of my life, my relationships, my family, my job, my income, my new job where I'm being called to go, my YouTube channel, like, oh, I need to put that down, or Instagram, or wherever, my social media. I'm going to add that to the list. I did say my clients, and so it's kind of like that, and my friends, and so you guys are like clients and friends, but I love you guys. Like, I do this because I love you. I want you to know freedom in your life. And so, right. So, what I was going to say is I spent that whole hour, like, being surrendered and not getting any answers. And then just like, what did I do this for? Why did I waste this time? I wasn't completely like that, because I've had lots of experiences like that. That's your egotism. Like, that's your egotism, which I say is like this, like this little bottle cap, you know, your mind is like this, and it only comprehends things within this little space, you know. And it's like, you are this consciousness, you are God consciousness in a physical body on earth experiencing life. And so I want to get out in the sun, but I'm also careful about what I show in my videos. Hold on, let me grab my keys. All right, hold on. Oh, okay, I'm getting really close for the camera because all right, I'll just sit on the ground. Okay, so then all right, but just being present and that act of surrender and that act of, here, you guide me. You know, I kept trying to guide myself and thinking I had to do things perfectly and thinking I have to get it right in the beginning, and that not giving myself grace to learn, to just grow and be like, oh, all right, I fell on my face again. I fell on my, you know, again. And just like, how do I, like, fine, I give you all of this, and then not like 30 minutes later I was around all these people and I got to hear a teaching, and it's like everything got put back in order and everything was aligned, and all the questions that I had put down just got answered. And then there were these two people there, this man that runs his own business and this woman that I just met a couple weeks ago. And you know, I just brought up one of my concerns, and they both were glad to help me and to give me some pointers and direction in that, and help me see where I was off, or where, you know, because we teach and we learn how to be a non-anxious presence. So not just cut off people because you're scared of that connection and be like, peace out, I'm running, you know, because that's what our world can do. Not to be like that. And also, you know, because it's scary to engage in relationships sometimes, you know, but it's worth it. It's always worth it. And I mean, set boundaries with people that are destructive. You don't have to invite toxicity in your life, for sure. That's a short video that I just released a couple days ago from before. The audio is off sync for that, but you can slow down. My other friend texted me and he was like, hey, you can slow down listening to that. And then the one that's called Have Boundaries, and just listen to it, and the audio will be back on sync, because I had to speed it up to fit it in a minute. But anyway, definitely have boundaries, and you don't have to entertain toxic relationships ever, you know. Get some distance, set boundaries. Let me think what else I was going to say is, but the answers will come. Like, they came to me, and, you know, I just had to persevere and be like, you know, not get mad at myself that it, you know, I did my meditation wrong or something. Why didn't the answers come when I was asking for them? Well, it came like less than an hour later. Like, that's pretty good results, you know. And it's like, there's some verse that says, like, God always comes to the brokenhearted, you know. And I don't want to keep breaking my heart in order to, like, try to manipulate God to show up for me. You guys know how much I cry because I sincerely want to know, and I want to get it right, and I want to be loving, and I want you guys to. Oh, that's what I wrote down. I wrote something down for you guys. Let me get it, because I wrote it down, because you guys were in my heart when I was writing this, you know. Here, let me get more in the sun. All right, hold on, just bear with. It's all worth it, right? I said, okay, let me go back, because it's written all over these different pages. It was like, I can't, I'll find it maybe, but it was like, God doesn't love you when you get it right. It's not like that. It's like he calls you. Don't be surprised and dismayed when God is so far above masculine and feminine, male and female. When God God is divine love. When God calls you to high places, it's to free you from the stupidity of this world. It's to free you from lesser things that you were addicted to, that you kept going to try to get your happiness from, that weren't giving you happiness. It's always to free you into this higher place. And so it's not to like, you've got to be this perfect person, or you got to look like this, or you have to be like as enlightened as Christ. No, he wants to enlighten you, to lighten your life, to bring light in light in, so that you have a more joyous, truly beautiful life. So you hurt people less around you. So you're not using them as objects. Like when we're addicted to things and we use our addictions to escape from life, then we also use ourselves, and we're using ourselves, and then we can justify using other people and stepping on them and not having intimate relationships with them. Because why would people want an intimate relationship with us when we use them as objects? You know, it's not that you aren't you're worth having an intimate relationship with. And we don't have to get it all perfect, but it's like you're called into higher places to align yourself with love, so that you're free from these things, so that you're not a slave. Because when we're addicted to something, it says, you know, and it's not like it says, like, I know, because you become a slave to these things. So what I was learning about was, you know, Christ saying, like, do not worry about tomorrow, and don't be in your worries, and don't chase after materiality and money as if that becomes your God, you know, because who cares about that stuff? But also, you know, I was learning in that book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he was saying, and I've got to have lectures by the guy the dad that book was about, Keith Cunningham. Like, I'm so amazed. It's like a full circle moment. Like, because he was saying, you know, people can be in regular mundane jobs, and they're so afraid of risking and going to these higher places that they're called to, because they're worshiping this paycheck that comes every week and every month that's keeping them in this, quote, secure place. And they're not willing to risk it all. I'm not saying everyone ought to. I'm just saying we're all called in different ways, just like you're called to do different things in order to grow in your closeness with divine love, because you came from that. So it's only taking you back to your true home, you know? So, if you guys know me, you know I always want to make the most. Even though some of my videos are so long, it's because I want to give you everything at once. You know, I never want you to be left without, like, every stone unturned, so that you can have love fully in your life. And that's how I am with myself. It's how I am with my clients. And so here is what I wrote down. You are loved where you are, as you are. Don't be dismayed when you're called and invited to more love and more virtue and higher places. Called to more love of the divine love, because that's where we came from. That's what you are. You're just coming home to who you truly are. It's not any less. You know, it's not about looking more moral on the outside. Who cares about that? Who cares about that? Like, it's about letting go of whatever's stopping you from experiencing more deeply love and intimacy and love with other people and love of life. And Christ says in the book of John, which is the mystic book, John 17, he's like, that they may experience the joy that I have of being one with divine love, that I may be in you and God is in me, and so that you may experience this. And so ordering of your steps. You're not loved because you cleared up your life. You're called to high places so that you can be freed from your addictions. And that's what I just talked to you about, the patterns that enslaved you. Ordering your life around, not about making money or keeping money or having your security in what you have, because that stuff will always leave you insecure, you know, or staying, like I wrote, I said that. It's not that. It's like God, divine love loves you. It's not like what I was saying. It's like not like divine loves you when you get it right. We are loved now and called and we're led to get it. Let's see, hold on. Right, so that we can have a life of peace and true joyfulness, transformation, healing of others, alignment with divine, home with your true self. And look what I outlined here. Just the word light. That was the name of the song that they played that I was ignoring because I was writing everything down for us. You know, but actually it helps a lot to be present where you are. I left my phone in the car. Imagine, you know, I left my phone in the car so I could just be present. Do one thing at a time. That really helps. Get in your body, feel yourself in your body, get in your 5 senses, look at nature, look at the sun. Hopefully, anyway, just try to accept yourself where you are, as you are. It's called grace, you know? It's like you're loved just where you are, as you are. You are loved. You can't get any more worthy of love. You're worth love already. The more we keep trying to run after it and get it from outside, the more insecure we're going to be, you know? The more foolish choices we're going to make because we're trying to get something out there that we already have in here. You already are worth. And I know sometimes that's just words, you know? But it's true. Well, it's true. And it takes courage to know this. And one other thing you can do at night after you get the 10 minutes of being quiet is look at, what did I like best about today? What was the most beautiful? Where are ways, without judging myself, you know, without judging yourself, where are ways I could have been more present or more loving or more kind? Not nice. I'm not talking about being nice and about trying to please people. I'm done with that. Like, I'm done with that. We can be kind. But when you're trying to please people, you're still trying to get your worth from making them think you're a great person or pleasing them, or, you know, and you're pulled this way and that way and that way. And, you know, no, set boundaries. I'm like, kick rocks. Like, if you don't like my program, if you don't like where I'm going, then you don't get to be in my life, or you don't have to be in my life. But it's not about judging people. Anybody can start now, wherever you are. Like, people have come to me and I've gotten the most beautiful direct messages from people, and I'm like, that is a lie to judge yourself for your past, you know? That's just where you were when you didn't know better. Now you can know better, and you can just be in love and ask divine love. If God is like, the Lord is my shepherd, you know, my best friend. It's a Hebrew word for best friend and shepherd. It's like 1 letter difference or something, you know. Ask for that kind of intimacy and how I can have that direction and guidance. My grandma used to say that to me, you know. She used to say it. I'm like, what does she mean, you know? Know that you can have that. You're worth having that. Like, why would divine love leave us, you know? Even though we've been left by other people, it says, I will never forsake you. I will never leave you. I am not unfaithful. I am true. But it takes humility to ask. Yeah, you can go at the end of the day and go, what did I like? What was good? What was beautiful? And then, like, learn how to let go of whatever stops you from being that kind of person. All right, I think that's all for now. I wish you so much love. Thanks for being here. Share this with other people. This can encourage. All right, much love.